Hey, it's just me, Bob, here, and this is a story of how I met your mother. And I'm saying that because I know your mom, which means you're my bastard child. This is something I've been wanting to do, which is be in a bunker and do a podcast. But this is the very first episode of a show called Bob Saget's Here for You. It has my name in the title, which is a little awkward for me to say my name in a sentence, but I did it. And the premise of the show that you'll be hearing on this first episode, stuff I want to talk about, is just that I am here for you. The purpose of this thing is to entertain, not talk about religion or politics, although it does subtly get mentioned. You can't avoid it. We're in a rough time, you know. We're all in our own sense a bunker. I want to soothe you. I want to give you a full body massage in your mind. Things I want to talk about that are relevant to me is that I have a penis shaped like an octagon. I'm going to be free-associating quite a bit. I want to talk about a time where I was selling a book that I'd written, and Jon Oliver interviewed me, and we both have a love of strange animals and always talking about them, and we could never get through the interview because he is so funny, and we fell in love. And also, there's a guy named Caesar, and he is a good guy who runs an air conditioning company, and I had a rat infestation in my 3 air conditioners, and I'll be getting into that because that's something I wanted to talk about. I'll be talking about name dropping, not just Caesar, but anybody named John, famous people you guys can call me, all kinds of stuff. We can talk. I'm going to talk about what's more difficult, the SATs or the coronavirus, and I don't take it lightly. And we'll be talking about that. This is going to get serious sometimes, but there'll always be a comedic edge to it because I really want to find the gallows humor, because humor is one of the only ways out of this thing besides taking care of ourselves. And I'm sending you lots of good wishes, and I hope you enjoy this. And here we go. Here comes some music I threw together. And welcome to Bob Saget's Here for You. I'm here for you on many different levels. I actually am a compassionate person. I was raised that way. My dad was a very caring man. My mom was a very caring man. And this is about me being there for you in a way like people think I raised them in some ways. I met prisoners that got out of jail. I wasn't in jail with them at the time. That said, Bob, you raised me, man. Thank you. And then they held me and did their way with me. But it's true when you're doing family television, and I was a stand-up since I'm 17 years old, and there I was doing family TV and wanting to do it because I have different, people think you're just one thing, and I'm not. I'm kind of an octagon, but that's when my pants are off. It's very oddly shaped, but it looks like a stop sign, and most people have stopped when they've seen it. Why did I do that? You don't open with a penis joke, so I apologize. This is going to be about a lot of topics. I like to free associate because it doesn't cost anything. And being here for you is the subject at hand, is that I'm here for you as maybe that dad that gives you a public service announcement, talks about something seriously, not a PSA, more like just advice. I'm going to be calling people. You can call the number that's listed right up there on the summary of this thing, and it'll explain to you right in that header or whatever the hell you call it in this beautiful tech world of things that I kind of know about. Because I got a TikTok account. Wow. Wonder how long that's going to go. And the point is, I want to know if you have questions, what you want to talk about. So occasionally I'll be actually physically with the phone in my hand calling you guys, and I'll be announcing it on Twitter and Instagram when I'm going to be making those calls. And then I'm going to have guests, all named John. I'm going to have guests occasionally, but it's really me. You're my guest. It's me communicating with you guys because I did a special, and it was called 0 to 60 a couple years ago. And near the end of the special, I was in between. I do music a lot. I always have. I started as a guitar act when I was 17, And then I always wrote comedy songs because they meant a lot to me, because it was like to take a good subject and get laughs out of it. And it's like no other form. And I was looked down upon by other comedians for a while. Then I took the guitar away and learned how to do stand-up for about 10 years. And now it's 40 years later. Oh, man. I don't know. I keep young because I drink the blood of marsupials. No. Why? And Jon Oliver does that better. But Jon Oliver and I share, because I name drop like a biatch, is that we share the love of when somebody gets too serious, go into an animal joke, do an animal husbandry joke, dress up an ocelot, do something funny like that. In fact, a book I wrote called Dirty Daddy, I'm not promoting it, New York Times bestseller. John interviewed me at the 92nd Street Y, and it was right before his show went on, and he read like 4 pages. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And we ended up talking for an hour and a half, and it was supposed to be a 40-minute talk to the audience that ended up, you do a book signing. And it was about me worrying about getting older and having leakage and slipping on it on the steps. As I don't know, you had to read it. Or you can get the audio book, which is 7 hours long, which will help you sleep during these tumultuous times. All right. Let's discuss that for a second, because Bob Saget's Here For You also means that I'm Batman. Because in that special, as I started to say, someone said to me, Bob, we need you. And I said, as long as you need me, I'll be there. And it's really weird. But about 3 years ago, I do a bunch of different things. I always say I do 5 things, none of them well. But I love acting, and I love stand-up, and I love directing and traffic. And I put 1,000% of my energy into whatever I'm doing at the time, including this right here. This means a lot to me right now. This is one-on-one communication. I've never really had that before. It could be 2-on-1 if 2 of you are watching this. If you get a group together, if you're watching it on YouTube, or if you're listening, a lot of these podcasts that you're going to be hearing on this series, Bob Saget's Here For You, that's called Plugorama. But it's also letting you know what it is, because I want you to know what it is. I'm going to be truly, I'm going to be mostly audio, because I'm going to be holed up in a bunker somewhere. And I mean, I was scared with my wife and this coronavirus, and I told her to go through a car wash naked, and she wasn't offended, and that's why we love each other to death, and not to death. That's a bad term right now. All right, let's get a little serious. This is a strange time. This is the kind of stuff, I remember seeing the movie Outbreak, Contagion. This is stuff that that none of us have ever experienced in the United States. None of us, we haven't had this. We've had pandemics before, but not to this level where everything is shut down. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for all of the people, especially those affected and the loved ones of those affected, and businesses and people that make money. Where are people going to make money in during this time? There is going to be an end to it. We are going to get out of it. There's no question that it's going to happen. But we're a little behind the curve, but we're moving forward now. My goal here is not to talk about religion or politics. It's like a bad date. You just don't do it. If you sit down and when I was dating, I've been married 4 years now, and before that I was married, and I was divorced 24 years ago because I'm 180, which is good because that's how my comedy goes also. Not too clever, but I'm my own self-critic. So if you have any comments you're going to leave at the end of this thing, where you subscribe to this forever, because I'm going to be doing this till the end of time, till they launch me into a time capsule into space. And then I'll be like, you ever see the movie Contact with Jodie Foster and John Hurt? I know I've lost millennials and Gen X, but it's a good movie. But I'm going to be in a space station and I will still be outputting this product for you guys, this program, this thing, this confab, this conversation. That's what this is. This is a conversation, right? I mean, you're not answering, and I can't hear you, even though this voice is in my head. And let's not take that lightly either. You know, we do make jokes. Everybody's sensitive. I'm known for having a bit of a ribald sense of humor. Ribald means that you shave your junk. No, that's not what it means. It means, bawdy, nasty sense of humor. And it's only been on a couple specials and 20 years of stand-up that I was like that. But I'm kind of changing. I have a tour going on that I'm moving the dates, and I'll be back doing Comedy Strong. I started to say a little bit ago that about 3 years ago, I had finished my last special. I didn't think I was going to do another one. I didn't know it was happening. And then with the climate in the world and with all the dissension and all the anger that we were experiencing and still are, although the pandemic is taking people's minds off of that a bit, and we have a common enemy, which is this virus. Herpes was pretty bad also, especially for old people. That's why I stopped kissing old people. I used to French the fuck out of them. See, that's not what I want to say. I don't want some 10-year-old hearing this. Yeah, because they may not get what French is. But I don't know if this is going to pull people together. I know that we have a common enemy that we're gonna beat. This is one that we can beat. If Mars Attack, you ever see that movie, Tim Burton movie? Sorry if my references are a little old, but it's right there. If you go on any of the anything, you hit Apple TV, you hit Netflix or anything, Mars Attack is there somewhere. And it's these guys that come here and blow the shit out of the earth. And they're funny and they're mean. Spoiler alert. And it kind of brings us together, but once Cloverfield is over, do we go back to regular life? In the Cloverfield case, because J.J. Abrams is a genius, it'll never be over. They'll keep making Cloverfield movies of some kind, even if they're just Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield Street, Cloverfield Lunchbox. Don't open the Cloverfield Lunchbox. It's got arachnoids in it. So the deal is, I just want to soothe you. If I was with you and I could touch you and I didn't have to have this body distance thing, I would give you a full body massage. I'm just kidding around. I would not touch you except in the prostate. By the way, that is not meant to be offensive because I am over 60 years old, just over, and I got to get it checked, but I can't. I'm not getting any check. I'm not having no doctor touch my body until this thing is under control. I mean my body, because my body's just out of control. My wife and I have been. You find out what your relationship is made of during a time when you're locked in a bunker. That's where I am right now. As I said, future episodes are going to be probably audio only, but I'll try to get into the bunker and do the YouTube as well so that you can get a look at me, because what's better than staring at a person talking for an hour? That's kind of what we do with the people that we love, the people that we watch on our late night shows that have helped us through the crazy political time. Whether we agree or disagree, they make us laugh. And I know most of them because I name drop like there's nobody's business. If I don't know somebody, I try to know them quickly so I can name drop them. Even if it's just the guy fixing my faucet, I want to know him so I can name drop him. There's a guy named Caesar. That's his name. And he is the most amazing. He owns a big plumbing, air conditioning, heating company in Los Angeles, and he has saved me. I had a rat infestation. Enjoy your meal. And he helped me get rid of it. I had 3 air conditioners. That doesn't sound like I live in a small place, but they were infested. And I just got it all taken care of right before this pandemic because I believe they're carriers. And I know that because sometimes when I can't, when the mailman, mail woman, mail person, when a person takes my mail, I got to be appropriate. This is going to be challenging and probably make this more fun for both of us, all of us. But it's interesting. I actually would use rats as a carrier. I'd tie like a carrier pigeon. I would tie a little note around a rat and just hope it would go over and spread the word of the gospel. I'm wishing you well right now. This is a tough time. And when I connect with it, it makes me sad. And all of you as well. And some people are like, why can't we go to bars? And it's like, because someone could hock a luger in your mouth without knowing it. Next thing you know, or you could accidentally flip a booger into their mouth. And then next thing you know, there you go. So we got to look out for each other. Try not to hoard too much toilet paper unless you really need it. I mean, if you really need it, what am I going to tell you? If you're going through a roll a day, odds are you need to go on a hunger fast. I got so much to talk about, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm here for you, and we'll be right back. All right, how about that snappy music I threw together? You give me a guitar and a fake drum, and I'm happy. Welcome back, because I'm here for you. My name, Bob Saget. People use it as an exclamatory. Bob Saget. The little kids will say, there's Bob Saget. It's not like Bob and then Saget. You know, that's just my name. It was my dad's name. In Russia, that's a popular topic right now. It used to be Zaget or Zoget back in the day when I was a descendant. And then bad things happened. You know, Cossacks came in. Life is freaking nuts, right? Like, people are having wars and stuff, and then something like this comes along, this coronavirus. Everybody does corona beer jokes. It's like, duh. And the main thing is, how do we stay connected? The news is conflicting because we're watching election stuff and then still having our, my God, it's been like a Dragway commercial. Tonight at 9, it's going to be an amazing public conference, whatever they call it, when they have those, town halls. We're running out of town halls. There's no audience, so the town didn't show up. And it's not a hall, it's a room. Anyway, the thing I'm most concerned about is that people somehow stay positive through this. And if you're affected by this coronavirus, just do all the things they're saying to do, and get tested. I get tested constantly. They actually, I took my SAT test again. You get 200 points for your name, and then the rest was just hell. I don't know which is worse, the coronavirus or taking your SATs. I'm torn. I'm torn because I ran out of toilet paper, so I was just using the cardboard things. So I'm torn. I have a fissure. See, this isn't the way to go with this, but it's me. What am I going to tell you? I used to make fun of it when I would hear Mariah Carey, Liza Minnelli, oh, my fans, I want to thank my fans. And it's true. And people go, I'm a fan. And then I find myself saying to some people, I'm a fan. And then I stop myself and go, I love your work, or things like that. But if somebody touches you, call the police. But if someone can affect you and make you laugh, over the years when I would do, I guess they'll be running America's Funniest Home Videos forever. It's now America's Videos. They took out America's Funniest Videos. They took out the H, the home, because I guess a lot of people live in a trailer now. America's Funniest Trailer Videos, which is really what the show is. But they'll be running reruns throughout this time. I'm reminded of a story. I just turned into a rabbi. Well, just lost 80% of the audience. But I remember, and this is going to be serious, okay? I remember during 9/11, and I was home alone, And I'd been out the night before with a friend that I met named Jaron, who wrote Crazy for This Girl. You know that song. If you don't, it's all good. So 6:30 in the morning, I just met this guy. I'd known him through different friends that I had. I won't name drop them because they're well known. Why name drop? I want to so bad. But he called me at 6:30 and said, the world's ending. Turn on your TV. And then I was watching that. And then all day we were inundated with this terror, with this horrific thing that happened. And people are bringing it up right now quite a bit of what catastrophes have we been through as America and what catastrophes has the world gone through. Because often you take care of your home base, you care about your home base, but you don't think about the world as a collective. Some people do. I do. But yes, we live in America, and I'm proud to live in America, and we want to cure this damn thing that's been all over the world, and we all know all the series of events that took place. We think we know, and mistakes that were made. And the main thing is that we band together. We follow the rules. We have to bite a bullet. Don't actually bite a bullet, because although unless you got steel teeth, I don't think you can pop it and you don't end up having a ricochet inside your gullet. But so 9/11 happens. I've been watching the footage all day. Nobody can sleep. We're all a mess. I turn on the TV. Every network, every cable, it's just running the same footage, the horrific footage that I can't even watch. I can't humanly watch it. And then Fox Television, the broadcasting network, not the news service, they run Mrs. Doubtfire. They ran Mrs. Doubtfire. And they ran it for 3 hours. It was because it's, I guess, about 2 hour and, I don't know, 10-minute movie, 20-minute movie, I don't know, but long commercials. And I was so thankful. I knew the president of the network at the time, and I'm not going to name drop that. I think that's enough. And I called him and thanked him, and he just said, "You're welcome," because it was him and a few other people that decided, let's go out national with Mrs. Doubtfire. And that's a movie about divorce, which is also a very painful thing. And it's about a father that wants to see his kids so bad, he dresses up as this lady, and the makeup's insane. But more importantly, and this is going to get a little emotional for me, Robin Williams, who we lost way too young. Why is it we lose the amazing, funny people way too young, and then the people that aren't funny, that aren't amazing, are just walking around like crawdads? I just don't get it. Not that I would say they should be taken out or anything, but a little raid, maybe. Don't stop a cockroach, just a heel of a foot. But Robin Williams, you can't mention him, and I've mentioned him in doing stand-up shows, without everybody collectively going, oh, and getting teary-eyed. Because if he hadn't been the brilliant stand-up that he was, this amazing anomaly of energy and a mind that worked faster than anyone else's, God help you if you're on stage with him. I solved it when I would be on stage next to him. I would just dry hump him. I would dry hump his hip. And he would, okay, go away. Thank you, Chief. And then he was, if he just done the movies, just Good Will Hunting and Mrs. Doubtfire and all these, Good Morning Vietnam, all these movies, and never been a stand-up, you'd go, oh my God, what a great actor, what an unusual special talent. So a talent like that every 100 years comes around, and we're hoping 100 years from now comes around. And I'm hopeful. I am a positive thinker, so I do think that mankind has been through many, many things, and this is probably the best way to it's to save people. It's weird to say to stay alive you got to wash your hands, which is really a pain in the butt, because after I make number 2, why would I wash my hands? It's such an annoyance. But back to Robin, who would love that segue. I've been on the board of directors for a long time, and I've been involved with the Scleroderma Research Foundation for 30 years. And I lost a sister to this disease, and I became involved with the disease foundation, the Scleroderma, srfcure.org. You can't promote stuff, but you can give a non-for-profit that saves people's lives. And we raised over $50 million, and a lot of it over the past 30 years. And that has a lot to do with Robin. Robin did the benefit 7 times, and that's how big his heart was. He would just come in and go, "What do you need, Chief? What do you want?" And I'd say, well, Sharon Monsky, who founded this organization and has had the disease. And I bring up this disease because people die from scleroderma from pulmonary hypertension is when your lungs fail. So I know this, save your laughs till the end, but that's gallows humor, by the way. That's not insensitivity. That is how I deal with stuff. And I think a lot of people do, but some people are off-put by it or find it off-putting. Off-putting is when you're about to tee out and you just can't hit that little flag. The flag didn't get pulled out of the hole, so you're off-putting. No, Bob. Anyway, so what was interesting is that this disease, like any other disease that infects your lungs, emphysema, anything that people have, they are very vulnerable to the coronavirus. And so I'm particularly with scleroderma, and I'm so involved in it, I am in contact with as many people as I can be to find out, are you doing okay? Our chairman has it, and he says you just wash your hands, social distance, which I'm a big fan of. I like being away from people. I like being the boy in the bubble. I do like being alone with my wife because we both work. We're always working. She works, I was going to say something terrible. She's an influencer. She influences me to do whatever she says. She doesn't want to be called an influencer because she's not an influencer. She is a communicator and a broadcaster and a woman. She's a woman. She's grown up, everybody. This is big for me. If you Google me, you will know that I'm with a woman, and we love each other. And that's a big deal. And I like her family, so that's kind of a miracle. Her dad's pretty hot. And she's got this niece that's really cute. So every 12 minutes, I get a new picture of this little girl who is absolutely adorable, but it's 10 minutes later. Look how she's changed. It's not what happened. Yeah, her face got fatter. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the angle. Did you just feed her a pork pie? What's going on? So all I got is, I was going to sing a song. Love is all I got, which is the truth. If we could just, you can't tell people to love. It just sounds like we don't need that crap, Bob. Don't tell us that. But it's accurate. And if you can care about people a little bit more and leave a few extra rolls of toilet paper and a couple extra things of canned goods. I had a home delivery of food the other day, and it was really weird. It wasn't all-inclusive. A lot of things weren't available. But I don't know who's wiping themselves with a can of sardines. I just think you can get hurt. And if it's open, forget about it. And you'll end up having a butthole that smells like a fish. And who wants that? Well, I know this is going out to so many people. There's somebody out there that wants a sardine in their butthole. And on that note, let's take a little break. Boy, those were good sponsors. It's Bob Saget, and I'm here for you. And that's what the premise of this thing is. And it's not even a premise. It's just kind of the way I am. And I just want to be as real as I can be with you guys, which brings up a lot of things for how you deal with this time where it's incredibly frustrating. I know many people that are scared to death how they're going to pay their bills. I know other people that are scared to death they can't go drinking in a bar. And I know other people that are worried for their health. And I know people that have been tested positive. But positive's not bad. It's good to be positive. But the thing I care about most is how do we socialize, but we can't really socialize. We're doing the arm nub thing doesn't quite do it. We're not supposed to be that close to arm nub. And I've said this before, but Howie Mandel was a pioneer. He was a fist bump. It would be like two goats just cloven hooving it. Well, they butt heads. We can't butt heads. And we shouldn't be butting heads anyway, figuratively. That's what we've been doing for the past 3 years. And that's what I'm just sick of it, which is why, and I think a lot of you are, I'm sick of, no matter what people's point of view is, to come at it with anger gets nothing done. Unless there's true injustice, and then it is what it is. There's always different situations. But if people could communicate, how do you date? How do you date during this time? You either have to have a relationship, but if you don't, you could swipe right all you want, but you're not going to meet and have a salad somewhere. I was on I'm not going to lie to you. I was on a dating site once, and I was really lonely. I had been divorced for 20 years plus, and then I had a girlfriends. Like, I would have a girlfriend every 2 years, then be by myself for a couple of years, try to figure life out, have a girlfriend for a year, and all good people except a couple. But they're I wish them well. You can't see me winking when you're listening, but the YouTubers got it. But I don't know. You can't be mad at people. You all relationships, I look at it as one long relationship, because I'm a narcissist to a point where it's like, what have you learned from this, and how have you grown from this? And it's so much fun to start with dating someone, and I'm so lucky that I'm married to this wonderful woman. Let's call her Kelly. And it's been we've been together 4 years, and that's a miracle. And I say 4 more years to that. I was saying I was on a dating app once, and I put my real age, and I'm 63 now. So this was, I guess I was about 55, and I put my real age, but all the people that I was, I put my age frame of dating, like, I don't know, I'm not going to lie to you, like 30 to my age. And I didn't put anybody older than me, but I put up to my age because, I'm an honest guy, and sometimes you just want somebody to talk to before you have sex with them. You can't say stuff like that. You just can't. But I did, and I want you to know you can't say stuff like that. So that's why I said it, just for that purpose. I dug out of that great. But the thing is, nobody came up because I put my real age, and nobody was interested. And I put it was me, and a reference to my Instagram. And then the only person I was compatible with was Courtney Love. And I went, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to reach out on this one. I was a big Kurt Cobain fan, and I didn't want to have the same issue. So I got off of that quick. When I say got off, I mean I got rid of it and didn't do it. But I guess what you could do during this time is go on a dating app, one that suits your preferences, and communicate with that person. Call them up and start a conversation. Wow, how novel would that be that you don't go right to what happened to me while I was dating? I already have 3 amazing daughters who are 33 and 30 and 27, which is also my locker combination, but I can't go to the gym because you can't touch nothing, and you can't wipe all that stuff down because you can't go there because they lock the damn door. But my kids are like, I can't date anybody younger than my kids, and I like to be with a woman, and sometimes a barnyard animal. I don't like roosters because they're ornery and they wake you up too early. I don't believe in that. They do that cock-a-doodle-doo. The other thing, if you're dating somebody, people will cock-a-doodle-doo would sprang this, what you're about to hear. So you can only imagine, and I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it because that's what this is. It's an open forum. So what happened was, it's for him. So people can send dick pics during this time. It's probably the safest time to send them because you're not going to follow through. It could be months till you ever can meet that person or go out socially, unless you both go, hey, I'm dumb enough to send you a dick pic. I'm stupid enough to meet you in a restaurant. Oh, there's no restaurants? My car will be parked by Mulholland Drive. But, and I've said this joke before. This is a joke, which is people have, for real, sent me dick pics, and I block them, so I'm a cock blocker. And that's right out of stand-up. So, which is something that I chose to do 3 years ago. I didn't think I'd be going, I got to make people laugh, but the world got so upside down. But I've had to cancel my dates, and I take them on a date-by-date basis. I had to cancel my Canada tour recently, and there's more dates coming up that I know I have to cancel because there aren't going to be any functions for people more than 250 people. And I'm like, well, what if it's, what if it's 200 very large people? Does that count as more people? Well, I just lost more people from this broadcast. I call it a broadcast, because I'm wearing a bra. What? That is inappropriate. And that is another thing. The times have changed, and I'm changing with them. I don't go back to the old ways of misogyny and that entourage character that I played, which takes me back to dating. How do you connect with somebody? Well, there are good things that are going to come from this. Once we can keep people healthy, once we can help save those that are affected, and once a vaccine comes out that can prevent this and make it regress, undress. You can't undress with people during this time because this is a little more dangerous than herpes, just a little bit. But you can communicate, which means you can talk on the phone. You can FaceTime someone that you just met if you're using a dating app. Maybe you got set up on a blind date. It's a weird time. It feels like you'd see something in a futuristic movie. Hey, you're interesting. Can I talk to you? Are you a robot? That's Westworld's back on the air, and it makes me wary of the people that are in the booth right over there, if they're human or not. That show will freak you out. I think we're better off with coronavirus than half the population being robots. But are we? My heart hurts. That's the last thing I say. That'd be really a great way to end the very first episode. No, Bob, why laugh at that? That's not funny. My heart hurts is what I was going to say for all the people that are affected and all the people that are incredibly upset that they can't socialize and all the people that have many places of work that they can't turn the key on the door to go inside and open your place of business. It's wonderful that some stores are open where you can buy in bulk. I'm on a leave of absence of being a member of Costco. I don't usually go shopping. I ordered in to have stuff brought in from the supermarket, and then when I got the stuff, it was a fifth of the stuff that I'd ordered, to give you an idea of what's going on right now. And I know you're living it. I don't know if you're ordering in. I don't know if economics kind of designate what you can do and how you can get a hold of stuff. There's nothing wrong with calling a friend and saying, do you have any toilet paper? In fact, I did that before this thing happened. I would always do that because it's a good conversation breaker. It's an icebreaker. A good icebreaker is a mallet. I once used a mallet to have to actually hit a carp in the head because I was making what's called gefilte fish when I was a deli clerk and a seafood manager when I was 16, 17 years old. And you'll be hearing about that in my new stand-up hour once I'm allowed to go out and do my work. I just want to entertain people. And if it requires tassels and color forms stuck over my nether regions, nah, I still wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But I'm lucky I have a Jim at home. His name is Jim Cohen. He stays in the house under the stairs. We're not letting him out. We throw some meat in there. And I'm also lucky that I'm streaming on shows that I never wanted to watch. So you're suddenly into a program that you're going, oh my God, this isn't that good, but I don't care. Just get me through this time. I can't help but think about other things that have happened that have been like this or similar to this. And I really can't think of anything. I mean, I got a chickenpox scar right there, right in the middle of my head. I had measles. I had mumps. I had my appendix out. That was something. But that's, and I almost died. I had gangrene. But that's not like something that everybody gets. You don't get an appendix contagion. So this is about being safe. Masks, everybody has different feelings about it. There was a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. Those masks didn't do anything to save anybody's lives. And sadly, it was Stanley Kubrick's, my least favorite film of his, because he made so many amazing ones. And if you haven't seen a Stanley Kubrick film, just get out there. Although The Shining, don't get out there. I mean, watch it. But The Shining is one that I never loved it. I don't know. It's just it was scary, but it felt like it went on too long. But I'm wrong. I might be wrong. So here's what you do. If you want to talk about that, if you want to talk about movies, if you want to talk about your grandfather not being well, if you want to talk about, I don't know, Full House, dare I say, if you want to talk about your parents, if you want to talk about that boil in your lower regions that you want to know what to do about, there's a show on TV, where you can watch a guy just, I forgot what it's called, but they pop zits and stuff, and it's just, I don't want to watch that. I do watch it when I'm eating something very cream-based, like chicken pot pie or something, and then I'm fine. And I use a spoon that has a hole in it because that helps me pop the chicken pot pie. It's chicken pot pie, and I don't care. But call me up. You can call up and leave a message on the number that's right there on the thing, and you call that up and you say what you want to talk about, and then I'll post on my Twitter and my Instagram, which is under my name. My website's under my name. It's in Hebrew. And simply, I just lost another 80%, but that's fine. Look, I'm a person. I care about all people. I'm not bullshitting you. I care about all people. I don't like meanness. I don't like cruelty. I don't like bullying. So I should stop doing it. I really should. It's just unfair. I got that guy Jim under the stairs in a harness, and it rubs the lotion on its skin and does what it's told. But I'm here to spread humor and love all over my toast, and then make a sandwich of humor and love. That sounds kind of hot. I don't know. Maybe it's a good time for a three-way if your light bulbs aren't working, but I would probably use the ones that are more energy efficient. I'm getting some LED lights while this is going on. I'm pretty excited about it, because maybe I'll have some kind of disco going on in the house, and I'll invite nobody, just imaginary people. I want y'all to just do what you got to do. Be well. Communicate with me. Rate this thing, and only rate it good. Reviews and rates, only go positive. If you got something negative to say, just, I don't know, just talking to a Dixie cup. Don't. I'm a sensitive dude. I know what I do wrong. I know it's, I mean, if you got, it's freedom of speech. Say what you want. What am I saying? I can't tell you to please say something nice, because that's not genuine. I'm going to be real as I can be, and if funny comes out of it, that's going to be cool. I really wish you well. I hope mentally you can hold on through this time, because we've never had it. If you need me to come over to your house, it ain't going to happen. I'm just sending y'all a lot of health wishes and a lot of really good heart wishes. Okay, so I'll talk to you next time, and you take care of yourself.